Hello, everyone. Welcome to YakShaver Sprint Review. Um, first of all, last week our sprint goal was to roll out YakShaver to first customer on the wait list. However, this is still in progress, but I think we are getting close to it. The last bit is just at the Microsoft Teams app verification. So we're waiting for them to approve it. They are now testing our app, making sure everything works.
Can I ask, have Microsoft given good feedback to make things a bit better with the app, or is it just bureaucracy?
No, they're doing the actual test. We got really good feedback from them. They actually pick up bugs that we didn't pick up. So that was really good.
Oh, wow. Okay. And were you surprised? Like, first of all, they shouldn't be picking up bugs we didn't. Where did you think about each bug, and was it not enough testing?
Yes, it wasn't enough testing, and plus this, we didn't have enough testing on the new tenant. So when things set up fresh, we didn't do extensive testing on the fresh settings.
Okay, so how we've tested tenants on Sugar Learning and Time Pro and other apps in the past is we've gone to one person, such as Lewis, and asked him to give it a test pass. He gives feedback, and then he gives a tick, and then we send it on to the next guy, Caleb, and then Caleb gives some other feedback, and then eventually we fix those, and then he gives it to a tick. And then we move on to Yuli. Like, did you do it like that, or you just said everybody test it?
I think everyone go on and do their own test in our case. And
Did everyone sign it off as test passed?
No, I think not everyone, but majority of us signed off the testing.
Do you think that you should have done it one person at a time, where they give all their feedback, you fix it, and then you move on to the next one? It does take weeks, but
yes, but I think when developers doing the test, there's always blind spots. So
but what I'm saying is the developers themselves didn't all test it, and they tested it concurrently. Do you think
we did test it concurrently. Yeah, we're doing all our own tests.
Concurrently is at the same time.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is one person tick, one person tick.
Yep.
Like, do you think it should have been done like that, where the entire team tests it?
Yes, I think we should be doing that way, but to improve that further, I think we should get the people that's not in developer team, that's not a developer to test it.
I agree. People are outside the team. Once the team has fully tested it and signed it off.
Yep.
I think the team itself has got to be doing more robust testing than you're doing. And then once you've done to your best of your ability, then get some other people. Get Josh and Isaac and, you know, Gordon and other people to test it. But you guys, I think, should do better testing. So I know they've given you this feedback, so it should be good now. I would like you to have a little, Yuli, if you can find that rule about canary testing and send it on, because the other teams have done this. I would like you guys to do the same thing. And it should be nice and easy now, because it sounds like you got most of the bugs anyway.
All right, it's in the chat.
There is a bit of a difference between testing YakShaver and sort of testing end-to-end setting up a tenant, though, isn't it? Like the tenant test is a bit more involved.
Yes.
Yeah, but you should go through it with each person. So Stephen creates Stephen Consulting, and then Caleb does Caleb Consulting, and Lewis Consulting, and they go through it until they're happy with it, and then they send it to the next person.
Right. Yep. So we will be doing canary testing in our next testing. So we'll start doing this in the future.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Cool.
Yeah, I think I just add on that I think we are doing the same the thing on Stripe testing because we have created a list of the scenarios and everyone can just test against the scenarios and add on any scenarios they can think of.
Cool. All right. Timesheet data. So we this was a two-week sprint, and we have Hajir.
It looks like you only got 1 week started there.
Yeah, so I need to redo this.
That's from last week, isn't it? You haven't updated the image.
Yeah, I'll update that later. But
Can
we lost.
somebody else put in the chat the new one so you can just give it to Rick to Lewis, could you do it maybe?
Yep, I'm doing it now.
So I was mentioning that Hajir now has moved on to client work. So the team left Lewis, Stephen, Tom, and myself.
And Caleb? And I think we missed Tom for a few days this week because he was sick, right?
Yes.
So I shouldn't have missing timesheets this week. I think it might be out of date.
No, the image was only for 1 week. So Lewis is extracting 2 weeks data. Right. So let's jump into the PBIs that we've done. So we got lots of done PBIs in this sprint. Right. So the first 3, the YakShaver should be able to configure the video host to YouTube. So they are also able to switch in between YouTube and SharePoint. So that's the UI enhancement we've done on the client portal. There's a little bug on client portal that when the project doesn't have a main contact, we couldn't load the project detail. And Lewis has fixed that. So now the page should work even the project doesn't have a main contact.
Question on that one. What happens if there's no backlog as well for that project? Does it just say, sorry, there's nothing I can do with this information?
So if a project doesn't have a backlog, it will go to email. It will send an email to the relevant
but if there's no contact, then who's it going to email?
It will email to the person who mentioned in the video, or the list, the requester. So the worst case will be the person sends an email to himself.
Okay.
Or anyone he mentioned in the
video. Which they can forward on. Okay, that makes sense. Yep. Does it tell you, hey, put in a because to make that better, you'd add a backlog or a main contact or something, right? Does it give you any kind of feedback like that?
Not at the moment.
Okay. No. That might be worth doing in that instance, in that edge case where there's no a blank project basically.
Right. We can do that enhancement in the future.
Do you mind if I shave it quickly?
Okay, sure.
Give me a sec. Share screen. I just want to shave that something. It's been hours since my last shave. All right. For YakShaver, we've got a new PBI, a new feature. So if somebody adds a project and that project doesn't have a backlog and it also doesn't have any people assigned to it, so it's just literally an empty record, when you shave to that project, even though it will, I believe, default to emailing the list of people, and when there's no people, it'll just at least email you as the requester. It should also in Teams pop up with something saying, hey, we've shaved, and it sent an email, but this would be better if this project had some people assigned to it. So I recommend going to the portal and either adding a backlog or some stakeholders, and that will improve your experience when shaving to this project again in the future. Anything else for that, guys? No? Okay, done. Thank you.
Nice. All right, move on to the next one. Lewis has updated the document for Microsoft. So this has the detail of all the login credentials and the testing steps that they need to do. So that documentation is done. Next bit. So we have released Stripe integration in this sprint. So we have a bunch of Stripe related PBIs. So we have end-to-end test with credit usage, and also a subscription management portal. So the subscription management portal was done by Stripe. So they provide this UI that allows user to log in and manage their subscriptions, either update their payments, or they could switch their plan or upgrade their plan in that portal. So that's
Brilliant.
provided out of the box from Stripe.
Great.
And sure. Any questions?
No, that's great. That's awesome.
Great. Cool. And credit usage, we've also implemented credit usage and the rate limit. So making sure credits are deducted after each successful shaves. Next one, fix a bug. So there was a bug on the YouTube integration. So when the token expires, it gets deleted from the database, and the integration will fall back to use SharePoint, which is not good. So we've fixed this so that YouTube integration stays there, making sure it's a fresh. We always have the fresh token stored in the database. Stripe, we also implemented the promo code. So Yuli and Adam has promised that we're gonna give out 3-month and 6-month free use of YakShaver. So we do have that implemented in Stripe.
Right.
Temporal table. So this is where we have enabled temporal table, which is the audit log. So now we know what records has been deleted, inserted, or updated. Teams app is now a mandatory steps during the sign up.
Question, are we planning at some point to make that optional so that you can just use the browser extension for communication if you don't have Teams?
Yes, that's scheduled. So we do have some browser extension, free version of browser extension scheduled in this sprint. And yes, that's our target, to move away or decoupled from Teams.
Yeah, use Teams if they have it, but don't require it. Cool.
Yeah. Right. Next one, Caleb has implemented a nice custom 404 page.
I love that.
Yeah, so now we have better looking web page. And also there's a enhancement on the project grid visibility and functionality. So those are the UI improvements that Caleb has done.
Did those requirements come from a designer or who's?
Yes, from Michaela.
Okay, cool. Nice.
Well, actually the task came from
Oh.
Adam, and I just got some stuff checked by a designer.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
All right, YouTube. So now our YouTube app is officially approved by Google. So when we do the YouTube integration, we no longer get a warning. So everything should go smooth. And we've also have a documentation plus video on the website. So we've got the step-by-step guide and also a video step-by-step guide as well.
Is this for if they want to use YouTube instead of SharePoint?
Yes, correct.
So I don't remember what warning we got before, did we?
No, it's just when you authorize on the consent screen, Google will give you a warning saying, "Oh, YakShaver is not verified. Make sure you trust YakShaver." But now, now we are officially verified. That warning screen will go away.
Okay, got it. Thanks. Can that go to the docs link where it has an embedded YouTube video?
Mm-hmm.
That video, can you click on it?
Yep.
Is that click on the link at the top to take me to the video.
This one?
Yes. And why is it unlisted?
But do you want to watch the video?
No, why is it unlisted?
Oh. I can make it public.
It's on the wrong channel, isn't it?
Yes, it's on the wrong channel.
Okay, I can fix this.
Is
So
that
we
you?
want.
Who recorded it?
I did.
Okay, well then you need to get a couple of people to test it, and then me,
Mhm.
and then put it on the real channel and make it public.
Okay, sure. So they should go into this channel.
Yes, and it should be public. So
Public.
just click on the home. See the home? No, yeah, that. If I go to the home, there's a nice video there, and there's just a whole lot of sprints. Now click on videos. Click on, this is what I always do when I go to a channel, I click on videos, and all I see at the moment is sprints, apart from the one that I put there, which was the see it, shave it, solve it, and there was just a silly video that Callum made. Yeah, so it should definitely be sitting here, public.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure.
And somebody that tested this should have picked this up.
Right.
Yeah, it took usually a second to see it was on the wrong channel, and it probably wouldn't have taken much longer to realize it wasn't public.
Okay. Yep. So I'll probably reopen, make a comment on this.
Yeah, just this needs to be public. Yeah, it'd be much better if you gave this to one of the other guys as the scribes to do.
Just heads up, you've also got the item still marked as done, so you'll need to mark it back as in progress or something.
Yep. Cool.
Now, if you just scroll down that particular item, can I see who tested it?
No, I think I didn't get anyone to test this.
Okay, if you don't, yeah, you shouldn't close your own item, especially when you don't see a test pass from someone.
Yep. Cool.
And this is not just Rick. The whole team should be thinking, hang on a sec, that's done and I didn't see it. Yeah.
Yep.
Developers cannot test their own work. I think you've heard me say that before.
Yep. All right. And let's continue. So stripes. We've done stripes. All right, bug fix. So this was a bug that didn't display the time duration, the video duration correctly. It was showing 0 second, and it's also a broken link. Lewis has fixed this, so now all the video links should be working. And he also fixed some historical links that was broken.
Oh yes, great. So the old PBIs where the PBI went through but it didn't link to the video, those have been fixed.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's awesome. Thank
How
you.
many did you need to update, Lewis?
About
38 or something.
41.
37.
Christ. All right.
It wasn't too bad. I just automated it and then it was all good.
Oh,
It
good.
was like two
That's a very
days
dead way to
worth
do
of
it.
shaves, right?
Yeah, it was only 2 days worth.
We did 41 shaves in 2 days.
Yep.
Oof.
All right, and the next one, Caleb has made some enhancement on the website when the blog page loads. And there's also a bug on the footer. So see this huge gap at the footer. So Caleb has fixed that so that the footer now stick to the bottom. This is also the wizard. TeamZap was at the last step, but now Tom has moved it to its own step so that it's a mandatory step now. This is a setup for Microsoft to do the testing. So we have set up GitHub.
Sorry, did you just move on to a new one?
Yes.
Or is this the same one?
Move on to the new one as new PBI
Well,
or
just the way that you went through this, Rick, there wasn't really a pause. I would just
Okay.
pause and say, next one.
okay.
So we realize that's just the end. Okay.
Right. All right. Next one, set up GitHub and projects for Northwind test account. So this is for Teams app verification. We're making
Hold
sure
Hold on.
Microsoft.
As soon as I open this and I see Tom has opened it, he said hi, no one. He's got pain, nothing. He's got what code can be improved, nothing. Task more. It just does not look like a real one. It just looks like a dummy one.
Right.
Now, maybe that's good enough, but whoever checked this, I would have gone back to Tom and said, can we clean this up? It's public.
Right.
Yeah, this is not acceptable as a PBI.
Is it public? Oh, it's public because of the video.
Well, everything we're doing is we're trying to do everything in the open.
Right, but the backlog's all private, isn't it?
Is that the case?
Yeah, the backlog is private, but
Yeah.
obviously this video is public, so we're showing the screen.
We're showing the screen.
As in
GitHub.
this video.
Oh, are we watching a video now?
No,
we're
we're
currently starring the
recording a
video.
video.
That is going to be on the YakShaver public channel.
Oh,
That's the point of this review video, right?
oh yeah, of course. Yes, that's right. Yeah, it's Inception. Right, got it. So yes, yeah, Tom definitely should. Well, it's not Tom's fault. He created it. It's whoever tested it and approved it and closed it. So Lewis's fault. He didn't say anything. Lewis, I'm writing you in my black book right now.
I just mentioned it. I just mentioned it.
Oh, you saw it.
Yeah.
Okay. Move on to next one.
Lewis, can you ask Tom to fix that, please?
Yeah, I'll let him know.
Right. Move on to next. Red limits. So for each pricing plan, we have credits available for each different pricing plan. So we have put on red limit. So making sure users aren't able to shave more than they purchase. So we've put in that limit on, and when they used up all their credits, we should have a message telling them now your credits is reaching 0. Either purchase more credit packs or upgrade your plan. Next one. There's a little bug on the Teams message where the hyperlink isn't showing. Stephen has fixed that. So next bit is about Stripe integration test. So yeah, Stephen has came up this test scenarios. So he has drafted all different scenarios could happen. Some common case, edge case, and we have that documented on Mira. So whenever we want to do tests, we will follow this scenario to do different tests. Website. So there is minor CSS issues on the indentation. So Caleb has fixed that on the website. And that's all for this sprint. Any questions?
No, I'm happy. That's good. Lots of stuff done, and a lot of stuff around the Stripe things, which was, it wasn't a immediate goal, but it was going to be a pretty hot on the heels of our current goal. So that's awesome. I kind of feel like by the time we actually get our current goal done, Stripe will be in our rearview mirror.
Yep. All right. If no questions, then we'll move on. All right. Next bit, we are looking at the code coverage. The code coverage has went down 17%. Let me explain why. It's because we have use new packages like Stripe and some new packages, and that has been included in our test and where it shouldn't be. So that's why the denominators went up, the lines, and then the percentage went down. So I think in the future we should exclude any packages that we use or referenced. We should only care about our own code packages. And
How
I think
are we going to remember to do that?
yes, I think we should do a shave.
Good idea. What?
I just like that you asked the same question I would have asked.
Yeah.
How are we going to remember that?
Lewis, can you do that? Do you have?
Yeah. Snag it.
Yuli prefers me being a little more direct.
I do.
Rick, are you the one doing the talking?
I'll let you do the talk. Are you
Look at that great planning they have beforehand.
All right. I'm going to record it.
You should start talking in the beginning, Lewis, because oh no, it's your screen, Rick. Yeah.
Give me a second. It's taking a while to initialize because I got my camera
If you
on.
start the recording, it'll be your YakShaver. So you should start the recording, Lewis, and then hand over to Rick.
Yep. All right, cool. I'm going to record. I've got a PBI for YakShaver. So as you can see on the screen, we have the code coverage as -17 from 33% 2 weeks ago. And this is from the new packages we've added. So please exclude them from our testing coverage as we don't need to test these third-party packages. Anything to add?
I think it should be added to a rule as well.
And added to a rule. Anything from you, Rick?
No, all good.
Good. All right. Done.
All right, let's move on.
Which backlogs are going to put that in? Because you didn't mention YakShaver, did you?
He did.
I said
Oh,
YakShaver.
you did? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
What
All right.
was it?
Production release. We only have one production release, and that was a major feature release with Stripe integration. And application health, we are 100% up. We do have a few errors, fail requests. I looked into them. There were minor ones like 400, 43, or 41. So those are fine. Monthly usage. So we still have Jeffrey, Jules on the top, and followed by Michaela and Hugo. So those are the usage.
Yes, I explained to Michaela to try to get another designer into her YakShaves, but that's a phenomenal effort. That's a really big effort, and most of them are quite good.
This could be something a little bit unrelated, but when you ask, say, a designer to film a YakShave with someone else, there's only one person that actually gets that's their YakShave.
That's right.
Should it ever intended to be a co-authoring almost?
I've never thought of that scenario. More worried at this point in time that I don't want to trigger a new problem that we never had, which is product owners absolutely overloaded. I saw Yuli a little overloaded from like Yuli's got a big job already, but then he was trying to do YakShaver and there was a lot of PBIs coming in because they were getting better. And as YakShaver is getting better and better and we're getting more familiar, we're making more YakShaves. Somebody like Michaela, who is young and inexperienced, being at the top of the leaderboard is fine as long as I know they're not junky ones. Mm-hmm. So if she's explained it to another person and they're on board with it, and so she's done it kind of once, now she does it, they will give her feedback there and then after she's done a YakShave, make this better or faster next time, whatever they'd say. And that's all I'm trying to get to. I'm less worried when I see Lewis. Probably probably I'd say I already did say the same thing to Hugo, and Matt looks pretty sharp already, and TA is pretty good. So yeah, that's the only reason I spoke to those two, and I spoke to Gilles and Jeffrey actually, but some of that might have been from NDC Oslo.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay, let's move on. Product roadmaps. So all our efforts were putting into the Stripe integration and release to waitlist. So we have a 38% increase, and we only have 3 PBIs left in this epic. So we very, very close to finish this epic. Next bit.
Sounds familiar, guys. We've been close on that one for a while.
Yeah. And backlog stats. In past 30 days, we have 139 new PBI, and 108 of them are YakShaved. We completed 81, and net change is plus 58. R&D. So we have experiment and investigate Stripe integration, and also we play around with the settings. So they do have complicated settings around subscriptions. What happens when you upgrade and downgrade? There are different settings that we can do. And Caleb also tried to experiment with the Python script to generate SEO content. Next, waitlist numbers. Although NDC is over, we still have people signing up. So we have 111 in the waitlist at the moment. AI tools, not much changed. Everyone's still on GitHub, Copilot, and Cursor as well. Next, we will jump into the retros. One went well. Caleb said there are lots of work completed, and it's our best estimate. I said YouTube ad officially verified by Google. Stephen said the Stripe feature is now on production. However, we still need some test. Callum also likes the Stripe being done, and he's excited to see what we can do with the generic MCP server powered agent at the end of Shave pipeline. Lewis said all the current teams app validation issues are dealt with. We are waiting for a reply from them.
You add from Microsoft, and then it's clear who we're waiting for a reply from.
Yep. What didn't go well?
Great.
Sorry? What did you?
Can you add from Microsoft?
Just waiting for a reply
from Microsoft.
Oh.
Yep.
Just so we know who we're waiting for.
And I would pause before the next section and say anything else.
Okay. Right. Anything else?
Yes, I think Lewis replied to a bunch of my emails, which make me happy. Mid sprint, mid the 2 weeks, because that's pretty much my only communication. I think Rick also fixed as a production issue for me. Reran something when I asked, but yeah. So I had a very good feeling during the 2 weeks because I was getting bits and pieces done, which is great. My production issue was reran. I thought I was going to have to re-record it, which was upsetting. And when it just magically got fixed, that was weird and good. Like it was just sitting there stuck for a day, and then it ran. Yeah, and then I think you've agreed to put a specific number on it, so it would be easy to reference. I've got a problem with this shave.
Right.
No idea.
Yeah, sorry, this yak, is it? And it's shaving a yak, so I have a problem with this yak. Is that right?
This shave.
Yeah,
I thought the lingo says I am shaving your yak now.
Yeah, but the problem is the yak.
So the shaving is the processing?
Yeah, the action is the shave.
No, the yak is what's produced, isn't it?
No, the yak's the project, and each time you shave the yak.
Oh,
Don't shave a yak in one
so
go.
each PBI is a shave, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
So
that's
let me
not
shave
what.
that. I don't like that shave. That's a bad shave. Do a different
Okay,
shave.
all
Shave it
right.
again.
Then it should say shave. It should say shave done rather, because I thought it was yak done. Because it says shaving your yak. So shaving was the processing and yak was the product. Now I understand what Yuli's saying, but I picked up the wrong lingo from the thing.
Does it say yak done anywhere? I don't know if it says that
No.
anywhere.
No, I think when it's done, it just say done. Work item created.
Just a small question. We now have two products that use Stripe with Tina and YakShaver, and I've never used it properly, like integrated into a product, but I've heard it's a bit of a pain to implement and integrate with. Is it worth writing a rule based on whoever actually worked on the Stripe integration? Considering everyone was pretty happy with it.
Definitely worth writing a rule. Hajir was the one who did the bulk of the work.
Okay.
So we should still get Hajir and record it, and we probably should be having one of the Tina guys in because they should be consistent, these two things.
Yeah, I think Wixie.
Reply to that. Don't type there. Type.
Rick?
So
Rick, we want to get Hajir and one of the Tina guys and just record what was done, so we can share that info. Because we maybe should get somebody else to do it again on Tina.
okay. Lewis, can you write that down? We need to get Hajia to write this rule.
Yeah, sure thing.
All right, let's continue. What didn't go well? So Hajia has moved on to client work. Callum
I
said
thought that said losing hair.
losing hair.
Like he was stressed.
Can you put losing Hajir to client work?
Well, I mean, look, like I don't know, something like 1 in 5 dudes are affected by male pattern baldness. So
There
probably
you go. Yeah.
slowly.
Maybe in a few years, Yuli.
Tell me.
All right. And Callum said we missed the spring goal again. Caleb said the doc page rendering was broken in prod and we didn't pick it up on staging. Callum, we try hard to underestimate and overdeliver. However, we still didn't complete the whole sprint tasks.
I think you missed the word from the end of my sentence.
Didn't.
I said still didn't complete everything.
Oh, everything. Okay. All right. And Callum thinks that 2 week spring was probably a mistake in retrospect. Caleb said we still blocked from releasing the Teams app by feedback from Microsoft.
I'm going to add one more thing. To me, you guys should read the corridor conversations rule we have. I shouldn't turn up to a sprint review, and neither Yuli, I, and Callum. I don't know whether you told Callum or not, but Yuli and I, we're stakeholders, and it was a big. It was pretty clear that this sprint we were going to have this in the team store, right? Now, with no conversation or updates, it sounds like you guys are just bad at estimating and very slow, right? And so we can't rely on your estimates. But what I would have done is I would have had a corridor conversation and made it crystal clear. Hey, Yuli and Adam, I know you're going to be disappointed, but we won't make this Teams app, and it's because Microsoft are being slow, or it's us being slow. Tell us something so that we turn up to a meet with their expectations set. That's all you have to do. If something bad is going to happen, like let's just say the code coverage is down to 5% and it's significant and we're going to be shocked, you might want to give us a heads up. Heads up, you're going to see bad numbers for code coverage, but that's because we added 100 libraries and that's theirs, or we haven't got around to adding unit tests yet, or whatever. If anything is striking as bad, just a little update is good. Is that helpful? Yeah, read the corridor conversation rule.
Yep. Okay.
Yep. That's put e.g. Microsoft are slow at responding, or whatever the real reason was.
By the way, Rick, I had additional details on that first one, misprint goal again, that carried across to the email. What I said was, if we knew 4 weeks ago how long it would take to roll out to the wait list, we probably would have tried to get something free up and running in parallel.
Yep.
I think that's worth noting because that's our next sort of direction that we're taking with the next sprint, right?
Yep. Yep. So I will put it. So that was that a new?
No, it was on the second point where it says misprint goal again, ... After that,
okay.
It should have some additional details. Yeah, there you go. Great. Carry on.
Yep. All right. What needs to improve? Backlog. We should schedule a weekly regular refinement meeting around 30 minutes or 1 hour. Callum said we prioritize a free offering in parallel to finish Teams app approval.
Okay, all right. So with regarding the first one, Stephen, can you set up that meeting and reference there is a rule about backlog refinement, so reference that rule in the meeting.
Yeah, I do.
And Rick, would you be able to show me either the epics or the roadmap on the website which talks about this free offering?
Yep. So we have, during the sprint planning, we have created this new epic, which is about.
Right.
Yep.
I think, by the way, that should be above the full Stripe integration as well.
So this
currently it's third, it should be second.
Okay.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is release a message out to everybody in the wait list, and then the second thing is we will have a free YakShaver for public use. It's kind of funny. I plan on giving this to MVPs, and you've called this an MVP. Authentication, free GitHub login. Okay, so they use a GitHub login, and they're not going to. So the paid will be a Microsoft tenant. Oh, I see. Okay, and that will be clear in the UI, will it? Right. And projects should be able to supply a list of projects, public repos. This is for the free version, right?
Yep.
And video host will be a YouTube channel. And will the videos be public only? That probably needs to be said. Yeah, just put public only. And public, mandatory, yep, that's it. You don't need the word only.
Okay.
It's mandatory and public. So why do we need the word mandatory? We don't need it, do we?
It's mandatory to configure the YouTube channel.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Because if you don't do that, we would need to put everyone in the world's YakShaver videos on one channel.
Yeah, sure. So, okay. And users not supported. Ignore names.
At mentions, right?
Oh,
yeah.
At mentioned users.
Why is at mentions not supported?
Because we have no idea who the relevant people are for a given project. And if we did want to try and support it, we'd have to support you sort of verbally saying someone's GitHub name. And obviously GitHub names are often not
Right.
And so I think it's going to end up mislabeling.
Should it say not supported, or user must add them manually after?
Well, YakShaver doesn't support it. Obviously, the user edits it as part of.
All right. Okay, so that's obvious, isn't it? Okay. All right. Does everyone agree with that? I think I'd put users can add manually later. Notifications, one-way communication start with maybe email or Signal.
Yeah. So without the Teams app, we need a way to communicate to the user, hey, YakShave's done, or we weren't sure what it is. So we need to come up with some solution for that.
So I was expecting that would be in the browser extension. So inside there it gets extended and you have messages inside there.
Yeah, we're hoping that, I mean, that sounds like it's going to be potentially tricky. Obviously, it's very easy in Teams. It's all built in. So we're thinking to start with MVP, it just sends an email when your Yak's done, or when your shave's done,
yes,
the terminology. And then later on, we can add that as a non-MVP feature.
Right, okay. This is very awesome. I think I just make it very clear at the very top of this. This is kind of the most awesome feature we're going to have, that all they need is a YouTube channel and the browser extension.
And a GitHub account.
And a GitHub account. Yeah, those three things, yes. So, yeah, just, you don't need to say that, Rick. Ask somebody else on the call to update that, but
okay.
with
Sorry,
a simple...
question. Why are we ignoring mentioned users? Won't they still have an account and they'll still have a user section in their account? So they'll still have 10 people that it could be one of those people?
I think this is not for people who sign up to the portal. This is a separate thing.
But they still have a portal.
Guess...
They'd have to have a portal because they have to say which projects they care about and which, they can't do this without a portal.
No, not necessarily. You could do it all inside the browser extension. You could, in the browser extension, add a project.
So you're going to give them a text box to list all their projects.
But why do that? Why not just give them the portal?
Because currently the portal is linked to a tenant, but this isn't linked to a tenant. So it'd be sort of a weird portal that only has, I guess.
Can't it just be part of the shared tenant?
Can't it just be the portal, but cut down for them?
Maybe.
I don't know, because then
it's going to go somewhere. But there's already a bunch of differences.
I don't know which one's more work or less work, but it sounds like we should just, ideally, again, not being a dev, but just trying to sell you suck eggs anyway, reuse the infrastructure we've already made rather than coming up with a brand new kind of infrastructure for just these people.
I think it is a brand new infrastructure there because you're signing into this with your GitHub account. The portal is currently linked to your Microsoft account. So there's probably going to be more work in trying to change the portal to support a GitHub account and hide all the functionality that is not relevant. But I could be wrong. I guess we should probably have a little spike on that to figure out what the easiest approach is.
I definitely am with Yuli. I think I'd like to sit in the portal.
I also think it's going to be confusing if you create a browser extension and you also have YakShaver as a tenant. How do you, are you going to have two portals, one for your free browser extension and one for your tenant? How's that going to work?
Why would you need two? Can't you choose the one?
Well, you've got one for your free browser extension with your GitHub account that you're using for free, and one with your.
Can we just say you have to have a Microsoft account instead? Just make it all through that.
We could, but the whole point of this was to try and separate it from the tenant requirements.
Right. So you're saying that our portal is only for Microsoft accounts.
Well, it is at the moment, obviously.
But what about Jira users?
They would still need a Microsoft account.
Oh.
If they want to use it with the Teams app and everything else.
Oh.
So we're trying to separate ourselves from the Teams app and the Microsoft account and everything.
Right. Obviously,
we're trying to make it as lightweight as possible, which is why I thought browser extension made sense to configure.
I think you should do a little bit of a spike. Obviously, Jira users will prefer to log in with a blessing.
Okay, but we're talking about free open source GitHub repos.
Yes, but
there are no free open source GitHub Jira repos, right?
Yes.
So no one's using this for free with Jira.
Jira people get free accounts if they're only working with an open source GitHub. library.
Of course, but then they're not using it with Jira, they're using it with GitHub.
Sorry.
You can put stuff in GitHub open source for free, no problem. But if you're doing that, you're not a Jira user, you're a GitHub user. You just happen to also have Jira projects, right?
I would definitely run this by a couple of people, just double check. You might be completely right. I think that you should be able to log into the portal with your GitHub ID or your Teams ID or your Atlassian ID, Microsoft ID.
But, okay, but then it's sort of less of a lightweight, quick thing we can do while we're waiting for the Teams approval, more of a larger epic that we sort of open this up to multi authentication options.
But we're using identity server for that. It should be able to support GitHub and Microsoft, shouldn't it?
Yeah, but what happens when you have a Teams app but you don't have a Teams account? Because currently we're tightly coupled with Teams, right? All the communications go through.
Look, I'm happy to go with your advice. I just think that you should double check it before you make this call. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
All right. Well, add another acceptance criteria to, I guess, confirm the approach regarding different ways to sign in. And I'll probably put that one first because we want to confirm it before we do all the other stuff. So that sort of thing is figuring out, are we going to have a portal for the free GitHub users, or are we going to reuse the existing portal and just allow you to sign into the portal with your GitHub, Atlassian, etc. account? And I guess we want to figure out what is the estimate of each one, and then decide which one makes most sense. Obviously, if they're basically the same amount of work, we'd just go with the shared portal. I'm at the moment operating under the assumption it's a lot easier just to build this as a separate thing with no portal, and that's why I think we should do it. But if it turns out that it's the same or similar, I guess shared portal makes more sense.
Another thing is I'm hoping that these people turn into proper people. So I want to lessen the friction there by kind of having them already set up, and then they go, oh, okay, screw it, I like this, I want to go from freemium to proper.
Yes, I agree with you, Yuli. So what does that mean?
That means portal.
That means what?
Portal. So set them up so they've got a portal, so that then there's
right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So his argument is they're in the portal. They'll see the portal. They'll see they're missing a lot of features because things are not there. Because every time they click on that tab, it will say this is for this other license, and they go, bugger it, I'll move to it. Yeah,
sure. I agree that's better. It just depends how much effort's involved, and if we can start with an MVP and no portal and add the portal after or whatever. So that's what we're going to figure out as the first one.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. Excellent.
All right. And I want to mention this.
Yep. The watermark would be great. Yes. Beginning and end. That'd be awesome.
Yes. Cool.
Next. Well, you don't have to open all the others.
Well, we've pulled 2 of them into the sprint.
Oh, I see what you've done. Okay.
Yeah. So.
Who's going to do the watermark?
Lewis.
Lewis. Can I request Stephen do that? Is that possible? Because I've given Lewis a bunch of tasks.
Yeah, I can do it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right. Stephen, can you self-assign?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Poor Lewis has been hammered by me. Did you feel it, Lewis?
I did see I got a lot of emails.
Right. Did you read them all?
Yes, I did.
Okay, good. Well, is it all cool?
Yeah, it's all good.
Okay.
All right. Then I guess let's jump back to the planning. So next sprint, our goal is still the same. Roll out YakShaver to the first customer, and also we want to add static branding to all the videos. So we're hoping that can be done in the next sprint, and And next sprint it will be 1 week. And we're just going through all the PBIs that we're going to do. Those are leftovers from current sprint. And we've pulled in some new PBIs for the public YakShaver. And this too is rolling out YakShaver to the first customer. Any questions?
And the amount of effort is based on our previous sprints velocity. Worth mentioning as well. So hopefully we're not over promising them.
Yep.
There's a couple of PBIs in the backlog, just little niggly things. So one is that when you click on watch the video, at the moment, it opens in the same tab. That annoys me every time.
Yes.
I always want it to open, and I think that's a super quick one. I put that in the backlog right at the top. And the other one is Azure DevOps PBIs. Whenever I get the email about them, I never know which project they're for. There's a PBI to just add, next to watch the video. There's like a this is for this project thing. I think those are both pretty quick ones. I don't know. I don't want to get in the way of the sprint goal, obviously, but if we're just waiting for Teams people to come back to us, then if one of those could be added, that'd be awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, it sounds like they're pretty easy, right? I guess we can.
Is that on the website?
Rick, what I do is I just ask, say, Caleb, can you drag those two in if that's what you want? And you're back on the email.
Okay.
Is this for the website, the watch the video thing?
The website?
No,
you're
it's when there's a link in an issue, we want it to open in a new tab, not the same tab. And the other one was when there's an Azure DevOps issue, the notification email doesn't tell you which project it's related to, which is really
it's numbers 13 and 14 in the backlog right now.
Right.
Thank you.
So Rick, you need to ask someone to do that so you know who's doing it.
Caleb, can you pull them into the sprint? 63.
And Rick, the second last one says Lewis when it probably should say Stephen Q.
Yeah, so this I will update this table because there was a copy pasted.
Changes to it.
Yeah.
Okay, no problems.
Yeah.
All right. And Caleb, that one that says Stripe done video. Done, capital D, capital V on done video.
No point updating there. Should update in the backlog.
No, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, same thing as what you just said, Rick. I'll get a new copy. Yes.
Yes.
On the last one, why does it say free in uppercase?
Oh,
question?
No good reason. No.
It's very free.
More
Maybe
catchy.
YakShaver was excited about it being free.
Yeah.
Yuli, did you say that issue was issue number 16? On
He
the
said
YakShaver
13
issues?
and 14.
13 and 14.
Okay.
What is an indirect search mean? Like the SEO one?
Those are several.
Ah,
That's
nice.
when you search Google, you're using a term that isn't YakShaver, but we want to.
Keywords.
They're using general. I would change that to say general keywords.
Issue 13 is closed. Issue 14 is closed as not planned.
Have you got the
think
actual
your-
issue
I
numbers?
think your priorities
Because
are
it probably
a bit
depends which view you're looking at, and Caleb is obviously looking at a different view.
Okay, no
So
worries.
I dragged them into the sprint.
I've put them in as well. Yeah.
Thank you.
We've still got the two blocked ones. What's going on with those?
Hajir was on them. We'll probably speak to Hajir and update the status accordingly.
Should we put them in the backlog for that or not?
Someone needs to call him to help him unblock those, or
No,
Yeah,
I think those are already unblocked, but he forgot to update the status. We just need to double confirm with him, and then.
okay. Lewis, on a group chat, can you just ask him to please unblock them or update them?
Yeah, no worries.
Okay. And there was one, Rick and
Mhm.
Lewis, where I wanted you guys to give me a call and run through the big ones. which required a view being added into YakShaver portal, which is the most common projects having shaves committed to them. You know this one? Can we make sure? Can you, Lewis? Can you also ask him what's the status of that? Somebody on the team should be building that view where you can see the projects. All it needs to be is ordered by the most shaves.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Back to the email.
I think that's all for the planning. So if any more questions? If not, this video will be uploaded to our YouTube channel. Please like and comment or subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.
So close. I can feel it. I've said that for a month.